Hello everybody, welcome to Junior Church. Let's hear our reading for today.
After he died on the cross, he was put in a tomb. Then three ladies came with spices and oils. When they were walking to the tomb, they found the stone rolled away, and they went inside the tomb, and they found that he was gone. When the angel came, he said, she said, the angel said, "Do not be afraid," and she said, "Jesus is not dead, he's alive."
Now, if you were like me, you probably like Christmas. Not only because of all the fun things like presents, but you know what? I really love the Christmas story in the Bible, and some of my happiest memories from when I was a little boy are the church nativity plays that we used to hold. I always also think that Good Friday is really important because, of course, we all make mistakes, and I believe that the death of Jesus can help wash all that away. Then there's Pentecost, which comes up in 6 weeks' time. That's when God's Spirit arrived and the disciples could speak in all different languages to tell the crowd all about Jesus. That's the birthday of the church, so I guess that's important as well. But I have to say, none of all of that would matter if it was not for the resurrection. The resurrection is simply the most important part of Christianity. If there was no resurrection, 2 billion people today would not be Christians. No one would have ever heard of this Jewish man who was killed by the Romans, however many people he helped throughout his life. It all changes because of Easter Sunday. So why is Easter so important? Well, there are lots of reasons, but perhaps one of the most important is that it tells us that being a Christian is all about new beginnings. It's about writing new stories. It means that whatever has happened in our lives, through the power of the risen Christ, we always have a chance to live a different way. We sometimes call this hope. There is always hope for brighter days ahead. Now today I want to tell you a story, and it's a true story. It's about a little boy called Teddy. Now his full name was Theodore, but everyone just called him Teddy. Now when he first started school, he was a happy little boy who was always listening in class and in fact always wanted to answer any questions. But after a while, Teddy's mum got sick. She was very poorly for a long time, and at school Teddy was no longer such a happy little boy. This went on for about a year, and Teddy became sadder and would not listen to the teacher anymore. Sadly, after that year, Teddy's mum died, and he ended up living with his aunt, who didn't really want him there. From this point on, Teddy was not well looked after. Other children would make fun of him, and he became more awkward and sad. Even his teacher found it difficult to look out for him because he could be a real pain in the class. But then, one Christmas time, the children were handing out presents for the teacher, and Teddy gave the teacher a broken bracelet with half the gemstones missing and a nearly empty bottle of perfume. The other children laughed when the teacher opened the present in front of them. The teacher herself almost laughed, but she stopped herself and she put the bracelet on and sprayed herself with the perfume. At the end of that day, Teddy was happier than he'd been for a long time. He went up to the teacher and said, "I'm glad you liked my mummy's bracelet, and you smelled like her all day too." Now I'll let you in on a little secret. When that teacher went home that night, she cried buckets of tears. And the reason was because she knew she didn't always look out for children like Teddy as much as she should. but she was not going to make that mistake again. So after the Christmas holiday, she was a new teacher. She worked really hard to support the children who she knew had a difficult background. She looked out for Teddy especially. And because she showed him love and attention, the love and attention that nobody else showed him, it made such a difference to him. Throughout that year, Teddy started to listen more and more. He started doing so much better in class, and it kept going. Even after a couple of years, when Teddy went to a new school, he just did better and better. Eventually, many years later, Teddy wrote to this teacher and he invited her to his graduation ceremony, telling her he was becoming a doctor and he wanted her to be there. This incredible transformation, this incredible new beginning was all because of the love that this teacher showed Teddy. This was the love of the risen Christ made so real for this troubled little boy. It was a love which said everyone is important, a love which said everyone is special. And that's what the resurrection is all about. You see, through the power of the risen Christ, anyone, a little boy, or even his teacher, can be the best version of themselves, helping people and sharing the love of Jesus wherever they go. Amen. Now we're going to do a craft which reminds us of the resurrection and the love that Jesus can bring into our lives. Now for our craft activity, we're going to make a resurrection scene. You need various different bits of paper. I've got a big blue sheet here. That's going to be the background. Then you'll see I did have a piece that I cut out to look like a rock here, and then I've cut out the opening to the tomb, and to go behind it is just a different shade piece of paper. It just needs to be smaller than the rock so it doesn't show up behind. On alongside that as well, you can see I've got this strip of green paper that I've cut out, and also I've made little slits along it as well, so that's to look like grass at the bottom of the picture. So I'll show you the rest as we go along. So first of all, we're going to stick down these pieces. We will not put it all the way to the bottom. Now I've also going to put some flowers on because I've got some special Easter stickers, so I may as well use them. Right, so I've put some of the stickers on. You could tell I had to stop filming because obviously it was taking forever to get the stickers off. I wasn't very good at that bit. But then we're going to do the last bit. Now you see here I've printed out a picture of Jesus, fun looking Jesus, saying I love you, and I'm going to stick that onto this stick here, and then we're going to make it so that that pops out from the picture, and Jesus pops out of the tomb going, I love you. Right, so I've glued Jesus onto the stick, and then you'll see I've put a hole there in the picture, and that's so we can feed the straw through, and that comes through here. And then essentially as the resurrection happens, Jesus appears and goes, I love you, and wants us to share that love with other people as well. Ta-da!